This is a special announcement. How to Build Thomas and Clavel is now on Patreon. Please check out the Patreon page on using the link down below to find out all the amazing deals it got on it. And don't forget to enjoy the show. What's up, Master Builders, and welcome back to Ginty Bixworry. And today I got an amazing mock showcase for you guys. And of course, it is the brightest red engine on Sodal. Of course, it's going to be James. And to start it off, we are going to talk about the actual wheels itself. And these wheels are the actual Big Ben Bricks medium wheels. As you can see, these coupling rods are not the best, but well, I need to make a more better plan for that. But yeah, these are the medium size of the Big Ben black ones. They are not the ones that Lego always make because they are the next size up. But not only that, but we got these little spoke wheels as well. To be honest, I never bought the spokes wheel from Big Ben Bricks before, but I wasn't expecting them to be such detailed, to be honest. They are so much better than the normal Lego ones, because Lego ones are just like molded inside of it, but this one's just like spokes actually out. So that's quite cute. Of course, the reason why this wheel connecting is a bit off is because this is just like one stud longer than what the actual width of the actual axle is, but so it's just here where the axle are holding in place. Like that one's just given up already. But enough about the actual frame. I got to mention about the actual how I got the bogie wheels as well. Well, I got this special special plate that actually comes out, turns around, curves around, and with a hole in it. And I got but a little pin for it that connects to this pin. That's got a bar in the middle to this one, and then it's like you just put an axle rod go through that is 6 wide, but to make sure it goes from the middle to the wheels, I put these stoppers on both sides and some washers as well, so the wheel can actually go freely, as you can see right now. Whee! But it's just enough distance and also be enough to be where it's meant to be. And of course, we can start off by the actual buffers as well. See, it's just given up. It's just really given up. And the buffers are the same as all the other engines, where it's the brick with the hole in the middle that is attached to a round brick that is attached to a underside of the actual tile part, so it does it on the other side. And then we got a lovely lamp for James, because in my layout he is actually going to be having a repaint or a wash down, so he's like a static engine, so that's why a lamp is there. But for the next part, I will take away his actual boiler section to show you what it looks like underneath that, because of course you've got these like little stripes that go all the way down and flat to the middle. And of course this is the section that's hold up the boiler, so that's completed by a cheese wedge, 2x2 tile with another cheese wedge. And of course, before I go any further, I should mention this model is 7 studs wide. You might be wondering, why 7 studs wide? I thought you'd do 8 studs wide. Well, would you be surprised? James, Donald, Douglas, and Edward are all middle-sized tender engine, and they all, by other pictures, they look like they are 7 studs wide. Well, they are thinner than normal engines, so that's why James is a 7 studs wide. But of course, after that to mention out of the way, you've got the actual these flashes as well. These are the same that I use for Donald and Douglas. So you've got a plate, a blue plate with a red curve going over, with a red plate here, or tile, and then a few plates going up, and actually leads into a jumper plate to make that little effect. This one is just a red round curve with a plate underneath and another plate on the bottom, and this one's just a cheese wedge that's included with the actual cab itself, but we're going to talk about the cab in a second. But before I put the boiler back on, I want to show you the firebox, and this is simply a 4 studs wide model, and you can just see just here where the actual studs on the side's construction is. I'm just hoping to get the flash. There we are. You can just work out right now of how to build this. So if you want the tutorial, you can just build it like that. Just don't forget there's 101 jumpers underneath here. But with that mentioned, I will put on the actual boiler. Nope, that's not it. There you are. And it's just, the boiler's just managed to hit the actual top of the actual smoke box. Wait, is that meant to be it? I don't even know anymore. Yeah, it's meant to be there. I'm just trying to think. But of course this is worked out, the boiler pod is worked out by, the face is a disc, that is a 4x4 disc. That goes, well, 4x4 is the whole boiler itself, but you've got a plate, a brick that is got a hole on the side, with another plate, a yellow plate, and 3 of those big giant 4x4 round bricks with a plate, red plate, yellow plate, and a red version of those that brick with a hole in the middle that's housed the dome. I got the yellow part, but I need the other dome part to go on top of it. Unfortunately, brickling always make me forget about that part. A plate, 2 more red round bricks, and a yellow plate right here, and that's just long enough to actually reach it out. You might be wondering, why haven't I done that design that I done with Donald Douglas or Edward, where you got that bricks on the side? Well, this particular model, its boiler is actually just smaller than that, so this is why I went with the actual normal or circular boiler that I always use for Torrance or Stephanie or something like that. And now onto the cab. As you may notice early on, that the cab are actually being used as pretty much the same way as I done with Edward, where they got a cheese slope right there going upwards, and leaving this actually being not glass at all, so this is actually going through. But onto the side of the actual cab, you've got like a plate, a brick, and then you've got a slope brick going upwards, and it's actually 1x3 going inwards. So you've got a 1x3, you've got a plate, and then you've got this head brick lamp that loads of people like to call it, and it's attached with the actual cheese wedge up here to make that little effect. You could use a slope brick if you want to, but this is more look better than that. And of course the cab is, I actually got something inside the cab. This is the point of time when I was like starting to maybe try and put cabs details back in, because you can see how far the actual thing is just through the windows. But that's James. But now to his actual tender itself. Maybe I should just mention about the actual, hold on, James, need you. Yeah, it's like how this connects to the tender is that we've got these special bricks that comes out, just like the one at the front, but with the actual pin going through it, and it's attached to a bar that actually attached to another one that's underneath the tender. This is the connection with all the engines, to be honest. But yet again though, I might as well look inside the tender first. And this is the hole where the actual driver or the fireman will get his coal from. And then got this little curve over here, and then another curve that's like keep all the coal in. There will be coal detail in here, but unfortunately I think I've run out of those circle or round bricks at the moment for any tender detail, so that's going to be left out for a second. Got another one of those curved bricks to make that effect. And also you've got a filling cap right there that's been put on by a jumper plate right here. And now to the exterior. Of course, as you can just see right here, that it is loads of blues. Blue and red, even though James is meant to be yellow all over, well, yellow lining, but in the Railway series, he is blue on the actual tender and the splashes. But there is a that's brick with the modified going inwards. It's actually like going inwards, so that's a plate, a brick, and a tile. Same on the side as well, going that way. And then you've got the tiles down here to make sure that's fleshed out a little bit more. And then you've got a plate, a blue plate, a red plate, two bricks that I definitely know where the number 5 is going to be. A plate, another plate. But before I mention about this part though, I've got to mention this side. You got a plate, a 1x2, and another plate with a tile and a cheese wedge on it. And that's like attached to this little stud over here. And then this part is all attached to the actual tender itself. And then apart from this little section here, it's actually attached to the back. There's a disclaimer for you guys. Of course, you can just see all the actual details to create the actual height of the tender, plus more cheese wedge and the actual tiles as well. And plus on the back, even though you've got a tile here, but this one I actually got one of those studs on the side bricks here, but it's actually double-sided. So one's going that way and the other stud's going that way. And of course that means that's a brick, that's a brick, that's a plate, that's a plate, and that's a tile, and that's a tile. And of course here's the buffer beam as well. This looks a bit strange when an engine is actually all red. It's like normally that's a one plate for all the engines, but since James is all red, it's a bit like seamless, to be honest. But I think that's about it for you guys today. I hope you master builders enjoy the showcase and stay tuned for more content. And don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. And plus, of course, stay on track. Before you go, I just want to say to thank you for all these master builders who are supporting us on Patreon. I can't believe it. We're going to be so close to the goal soon. Yeah. But until the next video, I want to say I love you all and don't forget to stay on track.